Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Empyrion Galactic Survival episode 29. I'm Enigmaeus and today we're getting ready to get off this moon. We've been spending a little bit of time making some adjustments to our capital vessel so we can get the hell out of here. We're going to be moving on to another planet. We're just going to take a look at some of the changes that I've made and then we're just going to go. This is the plasma turret that we originally had on the ship. That we put a minigun turret in its place because you can't use the plasma turret on moons and planets, only in space. And then we took the mini turret off and we put the plasma turret back because we're going back into space. So this is the turret that we are set up to use manually, fairly quickly and easily from the menu. That's the way that I wanted it, so that's the way that it is. And there used to be a bunch of armored glass windows that came down this way. And we've obviously replaced them with hardened steel blocks. We don't have enough hardened steel plates to make combat steel blocks across this section. But this is where we were getting chewed up that was destroying our containers and our constructor and all that other stuff. And I realized it just wasn't worth it for the sake of having a window that we didn't technically need. So we covered it over with something that's a little bit more resilient so that hopefully we can take a little bit more punishment. The other change that we made, scoot on over here, is we made this ridiculous little hangar for our armed scout ship, the little red juggernaut. I was going to try and put it in with the shutter doors that go up and down, like garage bay doors, but there were some hiccups with that. Specifically, the area that I had available to me wasn't large enough, and I didn't want to make it bigger just to be able to accommodate the 5x5 doors, which is what we would have needed in order to make this thing work. And also, I wasn't clear on if or how I could actuate the doors while I was piloting the ship, which made it kind of a tedious sort of thing. You have to bring the ship up close and then you have to hop out of the ship and open the door and then hop back in the ship and fly in. It's just, there's possibly a key that you just hit while you're in a ship, and if you're close enough it'll automatically open the doors. I don't know, find out sooner or later. It's not that important to me, but the point is I wanted to bring it with me and I wanted to provide it a little bit of cover from incidental fire from things like drones and whatnot that are shooting at various different things like turrets and stuff. So it's got a little bit of cover. We're bringing it with us so that we don't have to build a new small maneuverable scout craft at our destination. And it's docked, it's secured, it's attached to the hull of the ship, so we shouldn't have any problems with it flying off and doing catastrophic damage to everything around it. And that's it. We're leaving behind our base, which we aren't even parked at right now. We are just kind of set down where we needed to make the adjustments that we wanted to make, and now it's time to go. So we'll hop back in our body. We will turn the UI back on. We're going to get on out of here. Now, the one thing that I wanted to is quickly stop by and check on our way out is that station. If you've been following the series, when we first left the Akua, the planet's atmosphere, there was a station that we found, and it basically lit us up pretty good with its own cannons, and I'm wondering if our plasma cannon isn't going to help us address that sort of thing and maybe strip some of its turrets and go into it and see what happens, see what we find inside. But we're not going to spend a ton of time on it if it's being a pain in the butt. So, we're going to make sure, you can see here we've got our plasma turret that's turned off. We're going to turn on our auto turrets because this is going to be our drone defense while we're in space and as we're entering the atmosphere of a new planet. And we're going to turn on our thrusters so that we can move. And we're going to get the hell out of here because there's actually the remains of the drone base nearby that my turrets are very enthusiastic about shooting at. And they're just not going to stop ever. We're going to be on the new planet. They're still going to be shooting in the direction of Akua's moon, trying to do whatever they thought they were going to do. And here we are once again back in space. Beautiful, beautiful space. And over here, I believe, is a thing. That's not Akua, is it? It must be, and we're just too far away to appreciate the details. Yeah, I see water. So we're just going to kind of approach this a little bit cautiously. I wouldn't be surprised to see some drones just kind of appear. But it's the station that we're after. If we can get to within, just barely within 1 kilometer of the station, we will be able to shoot at it with our plasma turret. And if it can't hit us and fire back, then we're in good shape to kind of finish off the business and take a cruise around the inside, see if we can't find any more epic loot. However, we aren't getting our hopes up. Now we're going to be making our way to the new planet with our warp drive. We installed it, we buried it in our ship so that it wouldn't be an easy target. And we fueled it. Then we just kind of set it aside because we didn't need it. We were going from Akua to its moon. We did a little bit of cruising around the asteroid belt. And that was the beginning and the end of the whole adventure. I see a red marker off in the distance. Space drone plasma. 1.7 kilometers away. We don't need to close on that guy. That's what I like, the whole space thing where they I guess the distance scales differently is why things show up on your mini map and on your HUD. You can't see things on your HUD from 1.7 kilometers away on a planet, but out in space you can, which is kind of handy. If we can find this station, that'll be sort of the key indicator that we'll have is on the HUD, the distance, so that we can determine whether or not we're going to be able to safely assault it. But if it has plasma turrets, it's basically going to be a one-for-one trade, and they have the profound advantage. There we go, Thermica Station, 2.31 kilometers. We don't want to build up too much speed. We want to just kind of approach it fast enough that we can stop right around the 1 kilometer mark and not overstep it. Alright, if it's going to start shooting at us, it's going to start shooting at us soon. Are we clear? No. He's got the same range that we do. Look at all this stuff. And you'll notice all the fire headed in the opposite direction. It's leading us. It's looking at how fast we're moving and saying, yeah, shoot off in that direction so that he'll fly straight into it. What a jerk. The thruster distribution on our capital vessel is leaving a bit to be desired. Oh yeah, he's got a greater than 1 kilometer range on this stuff. So we're going to come up with a new, actually, capital vessel design once we're established in the new planet. That's going to take some of the things that worked well with this design, the same as we always do when we go from one style of ship or one category of ship to another of the same category. As we're going to try and benefit from the lessons that we've learned, the things that didn't work, and keep all the things that did. So Thermica Station, you're lucky. You are damn lucky. Now, I have no idea how to use my warp drive. You have to bear with me. Okay, I see. Alien Outpost. A whole planet named Alien Outpost. No, we're not going there. We are here, and we want to go to here, Omicron. So these are all a trading post. That's interesting. These are all the planets and places that we could theoretically travel to. And we have plenty of jump fuel. Omicron is the place that I planned, and there's a specific reason for it. And I learned how to use the jump drive. Fly towards the... Whoa. You need to fly towards the target to activate the jump drive. There's got to be Omicron. Look at that. Well, that worked. So there's a planet very close. Or is that Omicron's moon? It's like... Yeah, it seems to be getting smaller now. It's sort of, we're getting closer to Omicron. I guess we're closer to the moon than we are to Omicron, and that's why the moon looks almost the same size. We've got an asteroid belt out here that we can take a look at. It's probably going to have some drones in it. We want to be mindful of the risk of another Thermica station in the orbit around Omicron, because it's just not It's not in the cards for us to be tackling one of those right now. The difficulty is the AI stuff has very good aim. It knows exactly what it wants to shoot for, and it does. It shoots for your turrets. It seems to be prioritizing your turret and the ship core, apparently, from what I've read, is it will go for that if it thinks it can get after it too. Whereas we have to line up our shots, usually from a tremendous range, without any assistance. And we can only control one turret at a time, which means if we want to use more turrets, we have to use the auto turrets, which don't seem to select anything significant on their own. They just kind of shoot in the general direction of the target. Probably not helpful. So we just want to be a little bit careful, and the easiest way I think for us to do that will be to bring in a more defensible ship. With more turrets to work with, that we can swap around if one gets destroyed. This is kind of a neat looking place. Something for the time being is we're going to turn these guys off. Turrets active. We've already found our first copper deposit. That's exciting. Oh, look at that. There's a base. And then there's a thing that looks unlike any other thing that we've encountered. A Xenu spaceport. Minigun drone. And I just turned my damn turrets off. What a jerk. What I'm looking for is a spot with water. Like this. Where we can build a base. And we're going to turn these guys back on because drones. I think that might be the end of that drone. I want a base with water because water is where we get oxygen, water is where we get water, and we're going to be needing those things. In addition, oh, look at this guy. Another hero. There we go. We're just shooting at all the stuff. There's stuff everywhere. I don't even know what that was that we were shooting at down here, but we were shooting at it. And trying to go right side up. Once again with the pitch black. Oh, good lord. We're using the light from our turrets to figure out where we want to go. I'm trying to turn the ship and it keeps rotating it instead of turning, and I'm thinking that maybe it's related to the ship that we've got attached to the back of our ship. Look at all the red. It's just spinning around. Oh, look at that. There's the surface of the water, and we're just kind of... I don't even know. What the hell's going on here? Alright, ship, roll over. That's a good ship. It's not cooperating. It doesn't seem to want to roll over. Oh, there we go. We may have brought it around. But see, the problem of not being able to see is that it sucks. It's just not a very fun spot to be in, especially when you're trying to land a capital vessel. Oh look, this looks like it could be good. We're getting more minerals marked on the map anyways. Magnesium, we'll definitely be using magnesium. As I was saying, we need water and we need oxygen, and we need to be able to take care of that kind of passively. I don't want to have to make special trips to a depot to pick up more oxygen and water, so we're gonna, our base, whatever it is gonna have to be able to accommodate that. Now here looks like as good a place as any. for this sort of adventure. I bet you if I were to head off in that direction, I would find the orange barrier of heartbreak. Let's see. Oh, and I bet you it's not very far away. Yeah, there it is. It's just too flat and inviting. Now, whatever my ship is trying to protect me from, I'm kind of feeling like it's not that big of a threat, and I wish it would stop. In fact, we're going to make it stop. Turrets off. If we see any drones, we'll turn them back on. But for now, see, look at this. We're just trying to land. We're just trying to come straight down. And it's decided that it wants to roll over and make landing as close to impossible as possible. Which is really, dear ship, not very damn nice. Alright. Let's see what happens if we cut the power. That'll have to do. So we're going to turn off the engines. We're going to leave everything else pretty much on. Yeah, there's just too much ammunition being invested in killing local fauna that's not really that much of a threat. It looks like there's a guy. We're not too worried about individual guys. But we're going to hop out and we're going to use our rooftop vantage point to kind of take a look around at the site for our new base. Now, the big reason why I wanted to set up a base on Omicron, aside from it being a new place and building bases is fun, is because I was looking at the various different kinds of things that you can grow, and some of them are very important if you want to make some of the advanced medicines and first aid items. Nuts. And Omicron is the place to be for that kind of stuff. So if we set up a base here that gives us access to all that plant stuff, then we always know if we need to top up on our medical supplies, food, whatever, we can come here and take care of business. I'm just trying to get up on top of the ship and it doesn't want to let me. Here we go. Wow. Ship's too damn big for that nonsense. So let's just kind of take a look around. See, that to me is sort of interesting. I don't know what that is. I think we may have seen something like that underwater on Akua. We've got sort of like little spherical things. Those could be rocks or they could be alien plasma stuff. Oh, those are trees. That's what they look like. A guy standing there. I was like, what? So for all the shooting that was going on, there was actually surprisingly little by way of hostile things walking around. Maybe the turrets did their job. I took care of it all. Or maybe they were just goofing around because they were in a new planet and they were excited. Turrets, I think, are like that sometimes. They just can't help themselves. So we made it here when there was enough sun left for us to be able to land safely and make sure that the ship was going to be in a good spot. And now the sun is gone, of course. That's typically the way things work for us. As soon as we get into a position where we want to start building something or doing something, the sun goes away. Next episode, we're probably going to have the beginnings of our base constructed. We'll take you through a quick tour of that. We're going to talk about specifically what we want in our base and how we're going to make that happen. And depending on the lighting, the availability of lighting, we'll take another quick tour around and see exactly what's going on in our new temporary home of Omicron. Right here, Empyrion Galactic Survival. If you want to be notified about those future videos, you can subscribe to my channel or follow me on social media. Links for social media are always in the information box below the video. Feel free to leave your comments and feedback. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.